Okay, so Selena Gomez. Yeah, we need to talk about her again. Because somehow every few months, she says something that the internet just latches onto, twists into 37 directions, and before you know it, everyone's either defending her like she's Mother Teresa or dragging her like she invented drama itself. And this time, it's about something that should have been totally harmless. Her talking about the models she uses for her brand, Rare Beauty. But oh no, one little sentence, one tiny phrasing choice, and suddenly the internet's on fire. Models are upset, TikTok is filled with think pieces, and people are debating whether Selena just insulted her own team. So grab a drink because we're unpacking what she actually said, why people got mad, and whether or not the backlash is even fair. Now, if you don't know what went down, here's the setup. Selena Gomez, global superstar, mental health advocate, founder of Rare Beauty, was at the Fortune Most Powerful Women Summit. Sounds serious, right? She's sitting there talking about how Rare Beauty isn't just another celebrity brand, but a company built around real beauty, self-love, and mental health. Like, this is her thing. Her brand is all about not trying to be perfect, not trying to look like a filtered version of yourself, but embracing who you really are. Everything was going smoothly until she said this. "We don't use models. We use people who feel like they could be your best friend. I want something real." Now, on paper, that sounds innocent enough. She's basically saying Rare Beauty uses everyday people, right? Real faces, real beauty, no airbrushed supermodels. But you guys, the internet did not take it that way. Because when you're a brand owner and you say, "We don't use models," while literally paying models to represent your brand, well, that's going to land weird. People immediately started questioning, wait, so what are the people in her campaigns then? Are they not real models? Is she saying they don't count? Because these are professionals, people signed to agencies, working gigs, trying to make a career in modeling. So when the founder of one of the biggest beauty brands right now says, "We don't use models," that hits differently. And it wasn't just random people being dramatic. Some of the actual Rare Beauty models reportedly felt genuinely hurt. One model even told the US Sun that she cried after hearing Selena's comment, saying it made her question her career and whether she was seen as legitimate. Like, imagine booking a dream campaign for Rare Beauty. That's a huge deal. And then the face of the brand turns around and says, "We don't use models." Ouch. And honestly, I kind of get it. If you're out here hustling, working hard to get signed, getting your portfolio together, and then someone as influential as Selena Gomez makes it sound like you're not a real model, yeah, that stings. Even if she didn't mean it that way. But here's the other side, because there's always another side on the internet. Some fans instantly jumped to Selena's defense, saying she didn't mean literal models, she meant supermodels, like the ultra-glam, high-fashion types you see on runways and luxury perfume ads. Basically, Selena was trying to say, we don't use unattainable beauty standards in our campaigns. And honestly, that makes sense. It fits Rare Beauty's messaging. Here's where it gets tricky, though. Communication. Selena has this very soft-spoken, genuine way of talking, but sometimes it leads to vague phrasing. So when she said, "We don't use models," it sounded like she was dismissing the people she actually hires. If she had said something like, "We use real people, not just traditional fashion models," it would have landed completely differently. But because it wasn't worded that way, the internet filled in the blanks. And when the internet fills in the blanks, let's just say chaos usually follows. People on TikTok started joking, making POV videos saying things like, "POV, you realize you're not a real model, just a Rare Beauty model." Some even sarcastically said, "Guess I'm chopped now," meaning Selena just basically called them not model material. And honestly, TikTok humor being what it is, the jokes turned into narratives, and those narratives turned into outrage. But before we completely crucify Selena here, let's zoom out for a second. Because Rare Beauty has been one of the most body-positive, inclusive, and mental health-focused beauty brands we've seen. Like, if you walk into Sephora and look at their campaigns, you'll see people of all shapes, shades, and abilities. That's intentional. That's Selena's mission. So, do I personally think she was shading her own models? Not really. I think she was clumsy with her words, but her heart was in the right place. She's always talked about wanting to represent real people, and I think that's what she meant. But again, intention doesn't erase impact, And when you're the face of a billion-dollar brand, impact matters more than intention. And that's the thing about today's media culture. Everything you say is a potential headline. And Selena Gomez, one of the most followed people in the world, doesn't get the luxury of speaking off the cuff without consequences. It's almost unfair, but it's also part of the job when you're in that spotlight. Now, what's really interesting is that this controversy came right as Selena Gomez was celebrating massive success, like top-selling product success, and she was posting heartfelt messages about their Rare Impact Fund, which raises money for mental health resources worldwide. She even shared that they've funded 30 organizations supporting young people's mental health. That's huge. But unfortunately, none of that made the same noise as that one soundbite. That's just how social media works. The internet doesn't reward nuance, it rewards drama. And speaking of drama, because it never stops, right after this whole model comment situation, Selena dropped a new music video using one of her older songs from the show Nobody Wants This. And of course, people found screenshots from it, zoomed in, and started criticizing how she looked, because apparently the internet has decided to turn every female celebrity over 30 into a trending topic about aging or plastic surgery. Someone even tweeted something comparing US celebrities to South Korean beauty standards, saying something super harsh about surgeries, and it got so bad that Grimes, yes, Grimes, came out to defend Selena. Grimes basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, "This is not okay, Selena looks beautiful, and this kind of body shaming is toxic." She called out how normalized it's become to bully women online for aging or not fitting unrealistic beauty standards. And honestly, she's right. Think about it, Selena's literally built a brand about self-love and mental health advocacy, and yet she still has to limit comments on her Instagram because people can't stop nitpicking her looks. It's like, what message are we sending to young fans? That no matter how kind or successful you are, people will still tear you apart for existing in public? And that's where the internet feels like a contradiction. We preach mental health awareness, but then we make it impossible for women in entertainment to have mental health. To me, this whole rare beauty model situation is a perfect example of how complicated celebrity communication has become. Like, imagine being Selena Gomez for a day. Every sentence you say gets clipped, reposted, analyzed, and turned into a debate. You can't just say something casual. Everything gets dissected. So, yes, I think she could have phrased it better, but I also think the internet could stop treating every awkward sentence like a moral crime. Because, let's be honest, Selena Gomez has been the face of inclusivity, kindness, and mental health advocacy for years. And yet, somehow, no matter what she does, she ends up trending for something negative. Part of that might be because Selena's always been this relatable celebrity. People feel like they know her, like they're their friend, so when she says something off, it hits harder. It's not like hearing a random influencer say something tone-deaf. It's Selena, the girl who cried on live about her mental health, the girl who made a makeup brand for people who feel like they don't belong in traditional beauty spaces. That's why people care so much, because she's not just a celebrity. She's symbolic of something bigger. And when that symbol slips up, people feel personally betrayed. But here's what's fascinating. Despite all the noise, Selena didn't issue an apology or statement about it. She just kept moving, focusing on the Rare Impact Fund event, posting photos, celebrating the work they've done. That silence, intentional or not, actually worked in her favor, because by not feeding the drama, she let it burn out naturally. And that's something a lot of celebrities don't do. Usually they jump online, post a Notes app apology, make it worse, and the cycle keeps spinning. Selena didn't play that game. She just stayed calm. And I think that's something worth learning from. Because the truth is, Selena didn't say anything evil. She didn't insult anyone personally. She just said something clumsy in a conversation about beauty inclusivity, which is ironic given the point she was trying to make. To me, that doesn't make her problematic, it makes her human. So, what's the takeaway here? Words matter even when intentions are good, especially when you're a global figure representing a movement like real beauty. Because no matter how pure your brand is, one misphrased line can shake the trust of the very people who believed in it. But the flip side? We, as an audience, have to stop reacting to everything like it's the end of the world. Because the same internet that claims to support mental health can't also be the one that destroys people over harmless slip-ups. At the end of the day, Selena's message, "I want something real," is exactly what people loved about rare beauty in the first place. The internet just forgot to hear the rest of the sentence. And honestly, after watching this whole situation unfold, I can't help but think, maybe that's what we all want too. Something real. Not the filtered, twisted, performative chaos of social media, but real people trying their best, even when they misspeak. So yeah, maybe Selena didn't use the perfect words, but I think her actions still speak louder. She's built a brand that uplifts, she supports mental health causes, and she's clearly trying to change the conversation about beauty. And maybe that's what makes her so interesting. She's not perfect, she's figuring it out in real time, just like the rest of us. Anyway, that's my take. What do you think? Was Selena out of line with her "no models" comment, or was it just a misunderstanding blown out of proportion?